What's going on, everybody? Welcome to News to the Science, where we discuss comics, movies, games, and more. And today I'm just going to get straight into it. But before I do that, I just want to say that 2020 is officially canceled. This year does not exist in my reality. I think 2020 is just a figment of our imagination because apparently 2020 is the centerfold for cancel culture, celebrities being ruined, people losing their jobs, racism, and the world's just gone down 6 feet under. It's really just gone down to shit. And to top it all off and put the cherry on top of the cake, I'm just letting you know that The Last of Us Part 2 Neil Druckmann, or should I say Sony executives or representatives on behalf of Naughty Dog, was sent out to approach a critic of The Last of Us 2 after reading the reviews of The Last of Us 2. Yes, that's right. A representative on behalf of Naughty Dog was sent to approach a critic for a video game. He was just wondering why he made the criticisms that he did. And to further expand upon that, I would like to read you this article from Polygon. Now, Polygon isn't an article that I usually read because honestly, they just put out hot trash. But anyways, here it is. Let's go ahead and start. I'm not going to read the whole article, but it says here that the vibe around the game hasn't gotten much better since then. On June 12th, Vice published its review of The Last of Us Part 2, in which critic Rob Zacny, I think I'm saying that right, said that while the game had memorable moments that made for great spectacle, he was less taken with the story and characters. Nobody ever reconsiders their quest for vengeance, Zacny wrote. Everyone acts under a kind of vindictive compulsion that goes little remarked and unexamined. Zacny went on to describe the game's message as complacent, full of oppressive bleakness and violence. While the vast majority of the reviews have lavished The Last of Us Part 2 with all sorts of praise, highly doubt it, because I think they were just paid to make those kinds of praisal reviews. A handful of outlets, Polygon included, have been slightly more critical of the blockbuster game. According to Zacny, Vice's review prompted a Sony representative to reach out on behalf of Naughty Dog. They felt some of the conclusions I reached in my review were unfair and dismissed some meaningful changes or improvements. Zacny told Polygon over Twitter messages. Zacny clarifies that the exchange wasn't confrontational, quote unquote, but that it was nonetheless unusual, quote unquote, as the site doesn't typically have big publishers asking in an official capacity why a review reads the way it does. Such things can happen, of course, often with smaller developers or from publishers who have spotted a factual error in piece they wanted corrected. I was happy to unpack it a bit of my reasoning, however, and received a perfectly cordial message in response, Zacny said. Naughty Dog's PR team declined to comment on Polygon's inquiry about its exchange with Vice. And that's pretty much the gist of it. I'm not going to go on and read the entire article for you. I'll just leave a link to the article in the description down below because, quite frankly, this kind of like creeps me out and just angers me. It really does boil my blood. After reading that bit in this article, I'm surely convinced that not only is Naughty Dog the worst game developing company in the whole freaking world, and I am actually certain that I will not be purchasing another Naughty Dog game after this. And it's evidently clear that in my live streams of The Last of Us Part 2, I'm not enjoying the game. I'm clearly bored. I could care less about the characters of Abby. And the way Zacny here puts it and how he describes the game and how he criticizes the game, I could not agree with him more. I agree with this man's criticism of the game 100%, 120% actually. It is a spectacle. I've always mentioned that the game is a technological marvel and it looks amazing. It is a beautiful looking game. It is perfectly crafted. You can tell a lot of care went into it as far as visuals goes, but as far as storytelling goes and character execution, it failed. It just falters. That's where it falters. Now, there is character execution, and I don't mean that like they executed the character so well. I mean that a character, or should I say more characters, are executed horribly in this game. And this game just goes bonkers. It is bleak. They go blind. Like there's just no emotion. There's no level of, there's no feeling. There's no oomph in the game. It's just piss poor writing, awkward dialogue, weird decisions, and call this my mini review of The Last of Us Part 2. I do intend on finishing the game, but I can only think that it's only going to get worse from where I am right now because I think I'm like about 8 to 9 hours away from finishing the game. I'm already about 22 hours into the game. And on top of that, to add more, I am fairly convinced that Neil Druckmann is a borderline psychopath because he's chatting on forums, he's going after comments that people are making about this game, he's getting involved, and he's doing more damage control, which actually makes the situation a lot worse. And it's something that I don't condone, especially when it comes from a representative from a professional company that does not clearly hold their standards. This is Naughty Dog, a company who's been in like the gaming industry for about 30 years now, a company that makes a few of my favorite games, like the Crash Bandicoot series. And it's very disappointing to see and to witness this kind of behavior. And also in general, just this year has been horrendous. It's like I said before at the beginning, it's the centerfold of bad news. I can't go a day on social media without seeing bad news all the time. Somebody's getting canceled. Somebody's losing their monetization on YouTube. A celebrity is going down under. There's always criticism about someone. There's controversy behind this person. And now a company like this is going after critics because they didn't agree with their opinions and reviews of the game and said characters. Are you kidding me? Like, you're going to go down that road? That is unbelievable and sadly disappointing. The Last of Us, more like the last game I'll ever buy from Naughty Dog. More like the last Naughty Dog game. Anyways, that's pretty much what I wanted to share with you guys. That's it. See ya.